Have you ever noticed how quiet the world becomes when you finally stop trying to keep up? There's a moment, somewhere between the noise of the day and the silence of evening, when everything slows down. And in that stillness, something inside finally exhales. Most people spend their lives running, chasing conversations, attention, and noise. But there comes a time, soft chuckle, when you start to crave something different. Not excitement, not company, just peace. He had reached that point. After years of moving, talking, listening, he finally understood the most beautiful sound in life is silence. That's where our story begins. There was no dramatic event, no big decision, just a quiet morning. When he woke up and realized he didn't need to fill the day with noise anymore. He brewed his coffee, stepped outside, and watched the world wake up without him rushing anywhere. For the first time in years, he listened, not to people, but to the wind, the river, the soft hum of life itself. And that's when he discovered it. The beauty of solitude isn't loneliness, it's peace. It's finally hearing your own heartbeat without the world talking over it. Before the silence came, there was noise. Endless, constant, unrelenting noise. It wasn't just the sound of traffic or people. It was the kind of noise that seeps into your thoughts. The opinions, the expectations, the small talk that never ends. He used to think that was what living meant. Being surrounded, being seen, being part of the rush. But somewhere along the way, it started to feel heavy. Each conversation left him a little more tired. Each plan, each commitment, another layer of weight on his chest. Until even the sound of his own phone made him sigh. One day he realized he hadn't heard silence in years. Not once. Even at home, there was always something. The TV, the radio, the hum of a thought that never stopped talking. He didn't hate the world. He just couldn't carry its noise anymore. It's strange, isn't it? We spend our lives chasing connection, and somewhere along the way, we lose connection with ourselves. The world kept talking, but his heart had gone quiet. In the beginning, solitude felt unfamiliar. Too quiet, too still. The kind of silence that made him reach for the phone, just to make sure the world was still there. But as the days passed, the silence changed. It stopped being empty and started to feel full. Full of things he had never noticed before. He began to hear the soft rhythm of life, the river whispering, the leaves murmuring, the quiet pulse of his own breath. In that quiet, he found something he didn't know he'd lost, himself. He started to remember small things, the taste of morning coffee when there's no rush, the comfort of reading without checking the time, the strange joy of simply existing. Solitude began teaching him, gently, without words. It taught him that peace isn't something you find out there. It's something you allow in once the noise fades away. It taught him that love doesn't always mean being together. Sometimes, love is the space we give to others and to ourselves so we can breathe again. And it taught him that growing older isn't about losing the world. It's about learning how to stay with yourself and still feel whole. The world had not changed, but his heart had. In solitude, he stopped needing to be everywhere and started belonging exactly where he was. There, in the quiet, he realized that solitude was never empty. It was sacred, a place where the noise finally ends and peace begins. Over time, stillness stopped feeling like an absence and began to feel like a presence, gentle, steady, alive. He used to think peace had to be earned, that you had to fix everything, understand everything, before you could finally rest. But here, surrounded by nothing but trees and sky, he learned something simpler. Peace was never something to achieve. It was something to remember. He began to see beauty in things he once overlooked. The way sunlight touched the water, the way the world exhaled at dusk. There was no urgency anymore, no need to prove, to explain, to chase. Just quiet acceptance that this, right here, was enough. He thought about all the years spent chasing meaning, all the plans, the noise, the wanting, and he smiled. Because in the stillness, meaning had quietly found him. Sometimes peace doesn't come with answers. It comes with silence and the courage to stay there. That night, as the world outside fell asleep, he sat by the window, listening to the soft hum of crickets. The silence no longer felt empty. It felt like home. For the first time in his life, he didn't want to go anywhere else. Stillness had become his companion, not to escape the world, but to finally belong to it. As the night grew quiet, he realized something beautiful. That solitude was never about being alone. It was about coming home, not to a place, but to a feeling. A place inside that no longer needs to hurry, no longer needs to prove, no longer needs to be heard to exist. He thought of all the years filled with noise, the laughter, the arguments, the endless trying. They weren't wasted. They brought him here, to the gentle understanding that peace isn't out there. It's within. And in that quiet space, he felt something that had no name, but felt like home. The world outside kept spinning, the rivers kept flowing, and the wind kept whispering through the trees. Nothing had really changed, but to him, everything had. Because once you've heard the sound of real silence, you never forget it. You start to carry it with you, everywhere you go. In a world that moves too fast, he found his rhythm again, in the gentle, timeless pace of solitude. And maybe, somewhere deep down, you're looking for the same thing too. If you find beauty in solitude, this channel is your home. If this story spoke to you, take a moment to breathe and let the silence stay with you a little longer. You can like this video, subscribe for more quiet stories like this, or simply share your thoughts in the comments below. Because sometimes peace begins with a single quiet conversation.